Hey, how you guys doing? We are going to go over a game, two games that I played, and so I'm black in this one. So I wanted, I think I have I played white in one and black in the other. Good. Okay, this is a 6 minute and two rapid. It was played a day ago. My opponent played e4. I played e6. He played e5. I went d5. E takes d. C takes d. And then he played d4. I played knight f3. Knight f6. Knight c3. I mean, not c3. f3. Knight c6. He pinned. I unpinned. And so, if you'll notice one thing, at the moment my opponent has more space in the center. But if you can see that I have slightly more development, and if need be I can always play there. I can always play here, and I can even play and develop with a fiend shadow. So bishop d3, bishop d2. So I thought to myself, what do I want to do? Do I want to come out this way, or do I want to come out that way? Potentially that was a better idea, but only reason I didn't do that was I didn't want him to be able to pin my knight to my king. So you have to give a little to get a lot sometimes. C3, D5. Now everything's locked. Um, I have two pawns. He has one pawn in the center. So I castled. I played H6 because I wanted to attack his bishop, tickle his bishop a little bit. Bishop F4 was played, and so what that does is it controls this open file. I was thinking he might play here, but I didn't think he was going to play there. That's kind of an odd move. So I castled. He played knight to knight bd2, and then now my goal is to go after his light dark squared bishop. But if I can get his dark squared bishop, then I have the ability to have the two bishop advantage and win. I attacked his bishop. He went g3, and then I went smack. I took it. So he took back, and then I played e5. E5 breaks the center up. So if he takes, I now have this open F file, and I'm totally winning at this point. So he took, I took. He played c2 because he was also afraid. An idea was also the fork on the e4, so I'd win one of these pieces. c2, queen check. Now I'm gunning. I'm taking a look at his b2 pawn and his king at the same time. So I went like that, and I went hello. I went smack. He went b2. I went smack, double smack. Now I have two pass center pawns. This is insane of an excellent game. So he takes. I now protect with my rook, because I'm not worried if he takes back. You know what? Let him take, because you know what? That's not what it's about. It's about checkmate. I'm gonna be bringing in the boys with the attack. A2, bishop f6. This is interesting and allows for me to potentially play rook f7, protecting the pawn, and also this also prevents. See, it's really odd how his bishop is not really well placed, but see, I don't have to worry about my queen, because that opens right into an attack on the knight. Goes knight h. I smack the queen off the board, and then I go G. I now see that his knight and rook are on the same diagonal, so I take advantage of that. He takes, 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 and now let's take stock. I have two connectors. Hey, how you doing? We're just going over two of my games. I have two connectors. Super duper powerful bishop. and he kind of gets flustered and tries to go c7, c6 to c7, and then I just checkmate him. So let's see what potentially we'll analyze the board and see what. Come on. Okay, turn on the computer and see what actually potentially the best move was. So retreating the rook back is the only move. Then, yep, that's what I was thinking. If he retreated back, I just march these monsters. And if he comes in here, I'm now attacking the rook, so he's trying to undermine that structure. And you know what? He can have, if he wants his pawn, let him have it. Because the whole goal is that's going to become a queen with mate. So he's in a pickle. Totally a problem. Yeah, you play that first, because what happens if he takes, you queen, and then if he takes, it's mate in one. So he can't take. So he's got to play h4. At this point, you can actually queen. Or potentially, let's see here. I don't know, maybe takes, king takes, and then queening. I like, oh, wait a second, that's even better now that I think about it. Check here. And then, yeah. And then now you could, wow, that's just total pain and more pain. So we don't want to go into that. That doesn't look good. So we'll go into my next game. It went into an endgame. So that was black. I'm white here. So I play d4, e6, bishop f4. So it's kind of a London setup. Knight f3, a6. Usually when your opponent plays a lot of pawn moves, if you could develop and hit him hard, you can KO him early in the game. But he structurally set up his position good, so I gotta say that it was like a hard rock to hit. But I found the weakness, and I honed on that and knocked it out of the air. Bishop b7, knight bd2, h4. That keeps my bishop in play, because if he plays, come on, let's go to analysis. There we go. If he plays here, I just take, and he can't take back, because if he takes back, it's whop. And then I so much material is going to be lost. He'll have to play something like maybe something here, there, and then I just smack. There you go. So so let's go to h4. Knight f6, c3, connected. See, the London is connecting the pyramids, developing your pieces like this. You have your, first of all, you get your bishop outside the pawn chain, and afterwards you either go e3 or knight f3. Depends on if he plays e6 first. If he doesn't play e6, you go e3 and then you develop your knight d2, because there's some tricks that players who have studied in London know, and so you got to be careful to make sure your rook has freedom of mobility. So just that's a hint for players that are interested in playing in London. Also, if you're interested, Grandmaster Simon Williams has a couple of, like, about, I think it's 3 or 4 on the London system. So he'll teach you for free. Oh, e3 here. Oh, e6. Oh, okay. I'll show you. There's kind of a line of attack. We'll just go through it real quick. And if he plays, we'll say knight, oops, right here. Let's just say we make a mistake and he plays there, we play here, here. We'll say we play here, here. This is kind of the line that you're kind of got to be a little concerned about. Pop, there you go. Oh, you meant e5? Oh, you don't have to worry about, wait, let me see. Yeah, e5. I wasn't really concerned, oops, drat. Gotta move some stuff over here. Wasn't really concerned with e5 too much. Hey, hi. It's because takes, and I can snap that off. There's really not a, and there, you're 100% right. There's a potential, but then remember, you go after you go after his weakness, and in the London, sometimes it's not about castling. So, like, let's say he retreats his bishop all the way back. Now you could drop a lot of sadness to your player with playing like queen g5, and then if let's say he plays bishop d5, you castle queenside, and now there's a mega attack. We'll say he plays there. Actually, that's a bad move because of there, so he's gonna have to maybe play queen to f6. Let's see, what can we play at this? Oh, we can just win a pawn. So yeah, so it's not working too well for our opponent here. He does have the ability to develop, but into a smack attack though. So if he plays there, yeah, I think yeah. So we were just looking at if he played e5 here, what would happen. And this is actually from one of my games. H4 prevents g5. And also, that is an interesting play. But takes, you know, and bishop takes. You win the pawn. So I wasn't really too concerned with e5. I knew what kind of strength my opponent was. He's a strong player, 1850. But he liked a lot of modern, hyper modern play. Because he played on the wing, and then at the right time he was going to attack the center, but he didn't understand that I know how to play the London. If you know how to play the London, you get a structure similar to this. You position your pieces like this, and in some lines, though, excuse me, I'll show you. Go back. Well, we'll go through the game and then I'll go to the beginning. And I'll show you a line where sometimes in the London you place your knight on c3. It all depends on the play. And some of my play was a little inaccurate, so I gotta say it was a 10-minute game. I got low a little bit. I still won in an end game. Excuse me. And that's the gist of it, I guess, or the thing of it. He castled. So now it's kind of weirdly played now. I probably should have castled. I was thinking, do I castle kingside? And I didn't like that idea with this monster coming down in his pieces. But I'm sorry, I don't know what's wrong. I had like a frog or something. E4 is really strong. I'm preparing to break and then crunch open the center. G6, knight B, and then my idea is I can even retreat back here, there, or retreat here. I'm going to go to E2, snap off that pawn. So this is really the only thing that's holding, these two pieces are holding this king safety. Because if I can get a queen here, it's mate. Well, not really. I remember that does allow a flight square. So yeah, you got to be careful. I could at least win a pawn. So yeah, I'm going after his pawn. It's funny. I really didn't think he was going to take. I didn't. I was like, that's not a really good move because this is his only. Sorry, excuse me. This is his only active piece. The rook on g4. Yeah, I should do that. Yeah, it's been weird. I've been having a little bit of that today. It's like, ugh. But I'm feeling a little better. So then, yeah, I'll have to have some tea because that does help my throat when I have it. I've been doing herbal throat lozenges, so that's been helping too. Let me see. Okay, bishop g7. And my goal, and it's kind of funny, but it's actually to reroute to attack the a5 pawn and potentially jump into c5. Sometimes you have to look at your most unattractive piece. Some would say that is, but actually that's pretty goodly placed, the knight on f3. And this was the only one that was awkwardly placed, really doing nothing. So I thought, what if I reroute it? And I also have the ability, if I ever needed to, after, I can go here, here, there, or here, and there, depends on where I want to go. I kind of learned that from Simon Williams. Some of the grandmasters, they play the oddest of moves. You think, why would a grandmaster retreat to a1 and then move his knight? You're like, that doesn't really apply to the situation at hand, but it does. Like 4 moves or 5 moves down the road, it does do something for the position. And so I was like, I thought this knight isn't doing anything, so I have time since it's a closed game. I could reroute it. I could even go over here, like if I wanted to, do something like that. This knight is very flexible now on c2. f5. I thought about doing some of my games because I was like, I do other games, but we need to go over, games from, I'm increasing in my rating, and so I wanted to show you guys that it's about study. Sometimes even when you don't want to, you have to put in the time because it does pay off when you get these wins. It's so nice. It's all worthwhile. Now this actually helps me because I can jump my knight in now. Or here, it depends. It's my knight's guards there too. It's really, this was a pretty nicely won game that I played. I just jumped right in because if I can get rid of his if he takes with a knight here, bishop retreats back. Stop that, come on. Here, and it takes, bishop retreats, I come smashing in with my queen and I win a pawn. So he takes, and then I smacked that pawn off the board. So I go crunch. I crunch another pawn. And then I bring a knight in. Potentially, I don't think that might not have been the best of the moves. Let's see. I think that was, let me see if I played, well, no, actually, now that I think about it, that probably was, let's see if I had taken there, well, no, actually that does attack the knight, that rook, doesn't it? And indirectly attack here, so if I ever needed to crunch I even look at some of my moves to see sometimes what I'm thinking even afterwards, because some of the moves I'm like, why did I play those? And then you have to go through, and then, yeah, I want a bishop. So I was like, my knight really wasn't doing anything, so I just decided to snap off. He takes. Now the queen's being attacked. It's kind of funny. I had to maneuver my piece around. I wanted to get this knight out. It was like a pain. So I had to like, how do I get in there and make it so that it's possible for that? And so, yeah, he attacked there. I brought my rook over. He moved up there. I'm trying to trade off, as if he takes here, which is a bad move. This is I could then get my knight out. Probably not there. Probably here, and then I can. No, probably that is. Now that I think about it, that might actually no. Well, maybe because I could play. I don't know. That is a kind of awkward placed knight, so it'd be a little bit to get it out. So he doesn't do that. Queen f2. I'm maneuvering my piece around, trying to get some maybe protection there. This was a lot of maneuvering, and when he played his queen back there, I was able to get my knight out. I now have the ability of pushing e4 too. He took. Now I go e4. He attacks on e4. I'm now attacking his queen, so, and potentially I can even move my knight here and open up an attack there. There's a lot that my pieces are doing right now. I was able to get my knight out of the fight, out of the pin, and so I'm a piece up. D takes. So that was actually not the best move in the sitch. I should have moved there. I don't know what I was thinking. At that point I was like, oh, because then I can jump in. So that wasn't the best. I'll show you where I actually was able to. You see how I rerouted my knight? It's like when you see a weakness, sometimes. Yeah, that's it, exactly. And do you see how sometimes you can just maneuver your pieces around and then take advantage of. Now you see why when they say isolated pawns are weak. Look at this guy right here and his king, or this pawn right here. Takes. This pawn's gonna fall. And I use what we studied, opposition. See, when he moved straight forward, I went d3 and I gave him the move he had to move, and potentially I should have actually played there. That's actually the strongest move in the sitch. Because if he plays there, then I can actually just play up. If he plays over, and then I have that move there, and that's just crushing, total crushing. But I was low on time here, and so I kind of didn't. I thought about making a pass pawn right away on the, but it's okay, but it's. At this point, I played a move that would have went to a draw or maybe even a loss. That move there is actually winning. I went back through and I saw it. I played there. That's a 0-0-0. This move right here is actually crushing, because if he moves here, this pawn rolls up the board. If he moves back, I then can actually come to d5. If he checks, I can move my king, and he's going to have to worry about this pawn here, and then I can just come over and gobble this one. So, but I'll show you how it goes. I really was a little upset that I didn't find that. I was like, because I'm really good in the end game. It's like, really? And then I played an okay move. I had to, I almost lost this because something called trebuchet. You guys probably already know that in the end game. But I kept the opposition. Because when he moved there, that was actually not the proper. He tried to get me to do some silly move, but I moved over here. Then when he moved there, I moved up. and then at this point when I moved, he lost. He should have actually played back here, and then try, and then kind of have given me the ability to well, actually that still loses, doesn't it? So probably up here, and then there, and then there. Yeah, then it's kind of a draw at this point. By force. So it tells you gotta watch in the end game. If you don't move your king properly, this potentially could have actually been a draw if he had played it correctly. But he moved. He thought that he can push and make me, for some reason, go there. I was like, I'm not going to go there. I have two moves, and then I win. Because if he tried to move away, which I could just move in then. Yeah, it was an okay. It had some inaccuracies in the end game, and I was like, but I wanted to show it to you guys because it's a way that I wanted to show you how potentially Black could have actually drawn the game if he would have moved properly, but he didn't see the move. And then there, and then when I take, that's losing. So he has to remember. You have to have. Jeremy Stillman says if you have a position where there's a pawn like this or a square, the person whose move it is actually loses the opposition. So because if I'd probably want to move here, then at this point I could potentially win. And see how I have one move that I need, and then he goes there, and then you have the Capablanca. You have to be very careful in endgame with king moves if you're trying to defend for a draw. Like one inaccuracy can just destroy the position. Okay, now that we went over some games, we'll do a couple puzzles, and we'll see if we can get a little bit past. Oh yeah, Foss, we moved to 2100. We're in the 2100 club now. So, thank you. Yeah. And that's, let's see here. So that's cool. Yeah. I gotta tell you, I do miss, I'm glad we go over games, but I do miss endgame. I know for a large population, I know not you guys, but there are some that really get bored with the end game because of how there's not a lot of activity on the board. Like there's not a lot of smash, crush. I take a rook. I take the knight. You take this back. This and this. But it does have an art. The art of the end game is important. There was, I think it was a couple years ago, there was I think it was an India lady that was on with, yeah, that talked. They asked, she was like 14. She was on with Yazzer, and they kind of Jen. I don't know where Jen was, but she kind of filled in for her, and they called in when I think it was like either the Junior Open or maybe it was the U.S. Open. I'm not exactly sure which one. They asked what was the most important thing that caused her. She's like an IM now. What helped her become an IM? She says I studied the end game. She says that's one of the most neglected fields of the three is the end game. One of the most complicated ones, of course, you guys know, middle game. But end games are complicated. Okay, let's take a look here. Enough me talking about end game. Let's see here. Okay, knight takes e5. Let's see, knight takes e5. I mean, it's not knight. Sorry, queen takes e5. d4 fork. Queen takes e. Yeah, e5. Pawn takes bishop. And then takes rook. Interesting. That is an interesting idea. What do you guys think? Do you agree with? I'm taking a look. I think that's there, check. And then probably a king would come up. We're up in exchange. Or let me see. Would we be? We'd be. Let's see, a rook up, wouldn't we? So we'd be up a whole rook. What do you think, guys? It does look interesting for sure. If we take here, bishop takes. Does that? Nope. We just take there, and we won a piece. Is there anything that looks any better? I like that move. That is a good move. There is potentially queen takes there as well. So well, then if he plays knight after that, if he plays knight there, we actually can take with check, and then we still win. So this, I'm not sure if that might not be the best sitch in the position now that I think about it. Yeah, that is a I do see the merit in, taking then knight g6. Yeah, I do see that does have some, like what I'm saying. I think I agree that that's a good move too as well, but we have to make sure that what's the most forcing move at that. I see what you're saying about takes. That is an interesting. That is you have to decide between these two ideas. Then d2, yeah. Oh, that is true. That is true. He can't play there, can he? Yeah, I think you're right now that I think about it. Yeah, because you have there, don't you? After takes. Yeah, it does save the piece, doesn't it? That is right, for sure, for sure. Let's see here. There's a couple move positions that we have. We have queen d2 check. The only problem is you can retreat back. Bishop guards there, so that's, well, We do have there that attacks a rook, but then that allows the queen to be attacked. So, ooh. This is an interesting situation for sure. Let's see here. If we attack the knight, he's got really two places he can go to. And that does guard this, doesn't it? Yeah, that is an interesting sitch. Queen c2. What if rook comes over, attacks? So here. I do see the merit in that, yeah. Oh, right there, sorry. Yeah, you're right. C2. Yeah. That's right. C2. Had the wrong arrow. I think that is the move that, let's see here. That's the only move he has. Interesting. Yeah. Oh boy, I'm just so uncertain about what if he plays there though. What's the counter to that? That is a good move. If he moves here, you know what? That is a stellar move if he moves here or here. Because then we got that drop. We have that jumping in, and we win a rook. Actually, we win both rooks. So, but what happens if he moves here? We could check on d2. I don't know. Well, if we do check here, that is then there it is. There it is. If we move here, we bring our knight to c3. That is stellar. And that attacks the rook and threatens, sorry, here, here, rook slides over, and that threatens mate right there. Yeah, that is right. Oh wow, so he walked right into that. I'll show you what I was talking about, guys. If he plays here, we play there, and if he attacks there, you have drop mate. There you go. That was the other idea that I thought he might walk into, but I doubt at that level he would. Yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, I can't believe the queen walked right into that. That's a horrible move sequence. But I guess if you have to defend the knight, well, he could have just. Well, the queen was attacked, wasn't it, with there? So yeah, f5 did attack the queen. So he's kind of stuck where he has to play his piece. Let's see here. The only sitch about that idea is a check. Let's see here. Actually, he can't check, can he? Because of the queen there. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, that's right. I did see that. That is true. Okay. Trying to see if potentially that might be an idea. Or maybe no, that wouldn't work. I'm trying to see because sometimes it's just the subtle knight moves that really change. I mean, that's not very well. That is interesting because he could play there. And if we play here, he has that. Then there, then he has yeah. That's not too friendly. But we do have that there. Let's see here. If we played here, here. Oops, sorry. Here, here, there, check. Queen takes, rook takes, takes. Yeah, I don't know if the knight moves good now that I think about it. Well, maybe potentially we jump in there. Huh. So rook c7, rook e1, d, rook e5, rook takes, rook takes rook. Okay. If only we could play something like that. That'd be so nice. Trying to see. I think that idea. Yeah. So what do you guys do you have some ideas? Yeah, 96 that is a good. I did look at that. Well, 96 he does have rook. That is true, you're right. Then give it a shot. I think that, yeah, good job on the find, that find of E6. Stellar job. Great job. That was excellent. Let's see here. I think that's, yeah. It's not over till it's over. That's kind of one thing that I have learned. Because you're going to face players that take it all the way to the king. I had one of those over the board. Okay, here. I think that is right. That's, yeah. Oh, well, let me see here. If we take, interesting. Let's see. There. There. I think that is it. Oh yeah, you're right. That is right. I don't know what I was thinking. For some reason I thought this was defended, but you're 100% right on that one. That's right. You guys are right on that. It's like, for some reason I thought that could be defended somehow. Go figure. Let me see here. Great find, guys. Good job. Let's see here. This is an interesting. Yeah, it's so tempting to snap that guy off, but you know what? That takes our queen out of play. Then he's left with these two monsters. Oh, actually, that we can defend, can't we? Even if we did take that, he really doesn't have a check. Well, let me see here. No, if he plays there, take. Does have a potential perpetual, doesn't he? If we take there, our queen's offside, and we don't want that to happen. No, we don't. Trying to see if we could actually perpetual, if there really is one. just gonna try to check every time we can. We have a check on e4. What do we take though? I'm trying to see if takes there, check, takes, check. 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 Do we win anything though? That's the interesting sitch. What do you guys think? Cause I'm like puzzled right now. Oh, interesting. So here, 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 here. That is true, isn't it? Can't he move back? Check. Let's see. Here, here, there, there. That's a check. Oh, we do. We can play there, can't we? Then we play knight. Yeah, we do have knight. I think potentially, I think we can actually block with the knight after with that check here, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that's. I think we can actually take that. Okay, let's see here. Now we're there, 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 there. Because if we take here, that's perpetual, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, we don't want that. So yeah, I think we're fine after. Yeah, let me see here. Here, 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 there, there, and he doesn't have f4 check because of the bishop. Yeah, exactly. Let's give it a shot. I think that's... Oh, interesting. Wow. Didn't see this. Boy, that's a smack in the face there for sure. Let me see here. I think we win. I think we actually win the bishop, if I'm not mistaken. Let me see here. We can't play there because of this devastating attack that'll be come crushing down on us. So probably something like I'm thinking E1. Let me see. E1. Then he could check here. We move up. He takes. Move up. Check. I think that's right. I think that's yeah. Now it depends on where we move here. Okay. Now we got two spots we can actually move to. Are there? Oops, my bad. Wrong arrow. Which one though? Which one do we move to? Or maybe we just, I think, keep on in the dark. I think that's right. I think you're right on that. Let's see. Yeah, sweet. You're 100% right, because guess what? If he takes here, we just intercept with our knight. Yeah, see, if we go here, then he stays there. That's stellar. That was a great idea. Excellent. We can actually intercept. Oh, snikies. Oh, because of the check. Okay, yeah. Yeah, we can't. We have to stay. You're 100% right. We got to stay on the light squares. Drat. Let's see then if we play there. And I believe the best he could do is there. And yeah, there's no, well, there is check there. But we can't actually check there because we win the, yeah. So we have to stay on the dark, we have to stay on the light square for just a second and then go dark. That's not a problem. Hey, we got so close. Yeah, they're very long, but you gotta say they are fun and challenging. I'll do one more, then I gotta log, so for study and work tomorrow. So let's see here. After the 2100, it's kind of a slow grind improvement till we get to 22. I know we're up for it, guys. We can do it. They throw you different puzzles when the higher you go up. I noticed they're more difficult, a lot more. And even if they were, you know, lower level, you get more points. You don't get as much because of where you are in the level. So just going to be a slow grind. We could do it. Let's see here. Let's see here. So if we played knight takes on e5, that doesn't work. That he actually wins that, so not too favorable for us. I actually like rook takes now that I think about it. Because then if he takes, queen takes, we jump our knight in, forking the king and the pawn and the queen. I'm thinking maybe rook takes is the correct move. Do you guys see how this works? If he takes here, here, there, and then we jump in with the knight. So and then if let's say he just plays there, we just move our rook right back. That's all I see that's different is sometimes it's the sacrifice that, and we'd win material. So if we played here and then he took, we can actually take with our rook, take that pawn. What do you guys think? I'm not sure if that's a good move, but we have to make this very painful for white to want to take, because this is our card. This is our ace of spades, as they would say, of niceness that we want to keep around. This wins a piece on the spot. But wait a second. Hold on. Now if we take there, let's say he checks. No, that's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna go with it. Let's see here. We have, if we play here and he takes, we could actually throw check. And then here, there, knight. No, that doesn't work. Ouch. Owie. So let's see. Okay, if we play intercepts there, he takes on. Because that after he takes there, we could take with the queen. That stops every check we desire. Huh. Oh boy, this is a difficult one. What you guys think here? Do you guys? I'm not sure about if we can't move. Hmm. So rook. So are we? We're in gray. It's rook. Oh man. Let's go for it. Yeah. I want to see the conclusion to this. Okay, then takes. Rook takes. So far, calculation's right. So which one does it want? Which one does it want? So king h2. Then there. Yep, that's the win right there. Yeah, nice job, guys. Okay, well, with that, I do got a log. I thank you guys for all the help. We're climbing up, slowly. We're doing it. We're now 21-31. So every little bit helps. Okay. As Wesley So says, serve the Lord Jesus, and as I say, God bless, guys, and thank you so much for logging on and spending your time with me as a group. And you always remember, guys, you got to keep moving forward. Study chess, keep moving forward. Only look back to learn. And as I like what Colonel Hannibal Smith says, that there's always a plan in the position. Like, we had to find that move. The rook takes, the knight looked good, but the rook take was better, and that's the plan in the position. Okay, bye bye guys. Have a great rest of the night.